Everyone. I'm getting on here to talk about marriage. I'm no marriage expert by any means. I'm just going by what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've asked, and what I've been advised. You can hear the music in the background. It's just YouTube. I don't own any rights to it. The first 5 years of marriage are super, super hard. And it's because you're young. You're still learning each other. You're still learning yourself, and you're excited because you're finally going to be able to be on your own and do everything you ever wanted to do. And of course, guess what the surprise is? Life isn't as easy as you expect it to be. And the majority of us don't have any communication skills. So when we're stressed out and don't know how to handle our stress, we take it out on our spouses. Is it right? No, it isn't right, but that's what they do. That's what they learn by their parents, and their parents learn by their parents. But the first 5 years is so hard because you went from being a son or a daughter to now a husband and a wife. And you were learning how to be a son or a daughter. Now you're learning how to be a husband and a wife. And then guess what else now? Now you're close to your 30s, and now you're being a mom and a dad. Each generation of your marriage, you have become someone else, and you have stepped into that identity not knowing how to be that. Yes, there's plenty of material to help you and teach you and guide you. But then, on top of all of this, 30 also gives you a identity crisis. You don't know who you are. You don't identify as a son or a daughter. You don't identify as a husband or a wife. You don't identify as a mother or a father. And you could love each stages of your life. You really love it, but that's not who you are. Each stage is difficult. You're trying to gather, you're trying to learn, you're getting help from whoever and that seems a credible, a good person always reads great material. Another good person also goes and meets the person that they admire and asks them how they're doing and please help me, guide me, give me more foundation on this. It's so hard because when you get into that marriage, you have no idea what a marriage even means. You have no idea the spectrum of life-changing events that are going to happen. Each of you have your own sets of morals, your own sets of ideas, your own sets of rules, your own everything. Instead of dumping everything you learned and trying to just learn how to exist as husband and wife and learn each other, you adapted to what you already had. And some of those habits weren't healthy. And it really saddens me that some of you are throwing a marriage away instead of really digging down deeper and trying to heal the wounds that have been taught and passed down to you and try to break that cycle. You don't leave your marriage right when it's getting at its worst, because usually when it's getting at its worst, you were about to evolve into something great, but you gave up. I'm not saying that everybody shouldn't give up. I'm just saying that sometimes what you think is your worst, especially if your other significant other won't get therapy, but it scares people to get therapy. They think they're letting an outsider in. And sometimes not all therapists are the same. You have to get the right therapist that will help nurture your relationship, not take sides. And that's hard to find sometimes. But also, a marriage falls apart because you're trying to juggle too much in too quickly of a time. Some of you kids got married, went to the military, went to college, or you went to college and just focused on that. But some of you got married, went to college, had kids, and you were juggling a lot for your mental state. It's not healthy to be juggling so much. And the more stress you put on your marriage, the more it broke apart your relationship. And you didn't understand that. But it does. The more you have in your marriage, and if you have a spouse that's always worried and stressing out and can't get out of the mindset that we have to do this and we have to do this and we have to do this, everything comes together when it's supposed to come together. You make a good budget, everybody should be aware of the budget and what's going out, what's coming in. You're learning how to be adults. You were learning how to create your own, I don't know what the word you're learning how to do everything. And then now you finally figured out a plan, and then you started doing the plan, and maybe you were still stressed out because you're working too much. The kids are going to, you got too many activities with the kids, with yourself, and as a family. Sometimes you have to stop and think, what's more important for the family? And then you have these families who you're financing a lifestyle instead of living. You'd rather have a fancy house, a fancy car, and take fancy vacations instead of minimizing your life, where you guys can have more time together but still take the fancy vacations, but not have to put it on a credit card, but actually be able to pay with it out of pocket. The more debt you're in, the more stressed you are, the more you put on your family. And neither one of you are happy. Neither one of you see that you're not happy, and neither one of you communicate that you're not happy, or you have one that's communicating that you're not happy, but you're not really explaining what you want, or what you need, or how to resolve it. And it's also sad that sometimes you love one spouse loves one more than the other. I don't know. Somebody, they married for the wrong reasons. Married for money. They married for just to have somebody. Married because they believed that love would come. Sometimes love doesn't. I don't have all the answers. I'm just trying to give a foundation that sometimes some of you are throwing in the towel right when it was about to get good, or right when it was about to really blossom. And it really breaks my heart that, or you knew it was over and you brought a child in the world anyway, knowing that the relationship was over and you were done trying to make it work. Sometimes women only want the child. They didn't really want the man. I understand that point too. But when two people really were best friends at first and fell in love, you're not just losing your husband, you're also losing your best friend. So you're losing two things against you. Yeah, I understand the value of the heart. But Satan's doing a lot of nasty things right now. Nasty, nasty things to break people up. I get a lot of married men trying to talk to me, and I always tell them, I'm not a homewrecker. You better work that shit out or get a divorce. I'm not going to be the reason. I wish more women would have more strength. When a married man comes to you, he's married. It doesn't matter if he's not happy. Don't be his toy. Don't entertain him. Literally set him straight. You need to work on what you got. At least you have somebody. You're bored. People get bored. Your marriage is going through something. Try to fix that. Figure out what's going on here. How can you rekindle that love? Start dating again. Start getting to know each other. You both are going through identity crisis. That doesn't mean, maybe I should go over here and talk to this person instead. No. Work on your marriage. Where are your vows? Better or for worse? Better or for worse? I don't have a lot of room to talk because both of my marriages didn't work out, and they didn't even last very long. Like, literally, for my first marriage was only 6 months, because once he showed me he was on drugs and a complete asshole, I totally was done. My second marriage, it was long distance, and that's what it was. That's the reason why it really lasted as long as it did, is because it was long distance. I didn't have to put up with him. He didn't have to put up with me. It was a safety net for me. It was a safety net because he was too far away. And I coddled that. I coddled because I was scared to have a face-to-face relationship. But some of you really struggle with just being who your spouse needs. Sometimes you guys are not communicating what you really want. And that's hard to hear too. My son's father had big eyes. Like, he wanted a big house, and I wanted a simple house. I wanted to make sure that we could do what we needed to do and still be a family. I didn't want to be struggling. I wanted to just have a home I wanted to have a house to make into a home, but I wanted to be there for my son. I didn't want fancy. I just wanted a roof. And I think there's a lot of women like me like that, and they get with a man who wants something fancy, and they don't want fancy. They want something simple. They wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but instead of expressing that, they just let them do what they want. That's not what you should have do. You have to express yourself. When he did that, when my son's father did, I left. I was like, this is not the lifestyle I want. This is not who I am. I want to be a mother, and I want to be in the home to be a mother, which I didn't really get to do that, but that's what I want. And I still want that. When I start adopting, I want to be in the home and be with my children, watch them play, teach them, help them, be the nurturer that they need, be the teacher that they need. I want to teach them about the land. I want to teach them how to cook and clean and crafts, and I want to teach them how to read and learn, and their alphabets and their numbers and their name, and I want to be that teacher. And a lot of women have my same feelings, but we don't express that. It's like, because we're not living in the 50s, we shouldn't be able to do that anymore. Yes, we should be able to do that. And you should live under your means. You should not live above your means. Just because you can get a $230,000 home, don't get that $230,000 home. Get a starter home. Literally live in that for the next 5 years, or until you need a bigger home, and then you go into another bigger home that's still under your means. It's better to live under your means so you can do nice things and still be a family. I wanted a family. I wanted my son's father to be there and be active and, be a teacher as well. He didn't even want to work, so it doesn't really help me, but it doesn't matter. You have to express what you want. And I think a lot of the marriages fall apart because we don't express what we truly want. We don't express, and just because I'm a stay-at-home mom Doesn't mean I should not know about the finances. It doesn't mean I shouldn't have some kind of income coming in. I just don't want to work outside of the home. You know, I have dreams. The relationship needs to be, you have to talk. You have to address everything, your dreams, your hopes, everything that you want. And I want to raise the kids, but to me, I could do that for my whole life. I love kids. I want to do kids, but I do have dreams. I love massage. I want a spiritual camp. I want to have a big old yacht, 3 of them if I can, my God willing. I want to have 3 yachts, and I want to allow people to come on that yacht and be able to experience the water and experience, tours, and then get a nice massage and a nice dinner. And that's my dream. And then once I get done with exploring the waters, I want to have 75 acres of land and then have a spiritual camp where people can come there and literally experience God and all the wonders of the land and harness the healing elements and just really enjoy being grounded and learning how to meditate and learning to just harness all the abilities of the land and just be in awe, because Mother Gaia is so amazing, and I want everyone to experience her and love her and feel her love. And I've always said the sun is literally God, and when the sun touches you, it's God kissing you and blessing you and healing you. And it's just such a beautiful thing that I want everyone to experience. And I want my husband to understand that I have dreams too. I want him to meet his dreams, and I want to encourage him to have his dreams. And maybe they collide, I don't know, but maybe sometimes that's why you have to let go of somebody, because their dreams really don't align with your dreams. And, I want a husband that aligns with my dreams. I want a man who can really work with his hands and knows how to build and, is very creative. And because I love wood and I want to work with wood, and I want tiny homes, and I want tree houses, and I want, earth ships. And Michael Reynolds, if you know who Michael Reynolds is, he builds earth ships that are eco-friendly, and those are amazing. He's out I think he's in New Mexico, but I'm not 100% sure. But I want to do his course, which is around $4,000, and it lasts for 6 months. And you learn how to build earth ships that are truly amazing. If you don't know anything about, look up Mike Reynolds and his earth ships. They are freaking phenomenal. And I'm going to have those on my property. But that's way down the line. That's when I'm ready to really retire. I want a yacht. I want to live on the water for a while, and I want to travel, and I want to have fun and enjoy life, and I want to give something so amazing to families that they will be inspired to go out and do either the same thing or something even more creative. But I keep hearing people getting a divorce, and sometimes I know it's a blessing for that divorce, but sometimes I don't think it is. I think they're giving up too soon. I mean, I wish I had all the answers. I do. I really, really do. But I don't. I know there is no perfect marriage out there. I have been a CNA since I was 26, and I had always had couples sometimes. And they would always tell me, you're such a good woman. You should have a husband. And I'd be like, I will wait for the right one. I am not just going to be with somebody just because I have to have somebody in my bed with me, a warm bed and a body in my bed. And they would laugh at me, and they were like, you're not going to find that perfect person. There's always going to be something that irritates you. There's always going to be something that they don't do that you want them to do. I remember this one woman, she told me, she said, the more he irritates me, the more I have to love it. I have to figure out a way to love what irritates me, and I have to figure out why it irritates me. And I was like, well, I've not been with anyone long enough to even experience that. And it's true, because when I was with my son's father, I worked all the time. I just threw myself into work. I knew I wanted a child, and I thought we were building a future, and I was hoping to get a home and have a kid and stay at home with the kid. Well, that's not what he wanted, so that's not what happened. So I don't have that experience with somebody, but I want that experience. I want to know what it irritates me, and how can I work through it, and what am I really going to love about that person. And I am a very attentive person when it comes to people I love. I will figure out what you like and what you don't like, and I do my best to, you know, adjust to what is needed. I mean, I know I'm a difficult person because I'm very stubborn, and I want things clean the way I like it clean, and I want things where they're supposed to go, and order is very programmed into my head, and but I still want to experience what it's like to be with somebody. And a few of the guys that I did meet, they wanted to move in right away, and I'm like, oh no, that's not no, I don't move in unless we're married, because I need to get to know you. I need to know what I just need to feel that connection before I even think about living with you. And again, I like things my way. I want to see how they live first, because if they don't live the way I live, well, we probably will never live together. I may love you, but I can live next door to you, because I don't want to live with somebody who is a slob. I cannot handle that. Mentally, I cannot handle that. It really disrupts my balance and my peace if the house isn't. And I really don't want furniture. I really want a place that has an open concept, especially tiny, and I can be able to do my yoga there if it's necessary. I want to be able to stretch and just, and I don't want TV. And that's, men always want a TV. I don't want a TV. I don't want that. I don't need that. I want us to entertain each other and do things together, building. I want to build furniture. I love arts and crafts. I love wood. I want to learn how to weld, because even stainless glass is really nice. If I don't have to work outside of the home, I want to make things so we can sell things and really create a future. I love the swings. Oh my God, I've seen some really cool picnic picnic tables that you put it together. It's a picnic table, and you can pull it apart, and it's like seating. I thought, oh my God, that is so cool. There's so many cool things out there that you can make and sell, and I love the macro. I don't know how you say it, but it's real thick rope, and you build things with that, and I love that. And there's real beautiful beds that you can hang up on the tripods, and there's arrow swings. I have so much in my head that I want to manifest on my boat and on my land. I don't want idle time. When we're having idle time, we're sleeping. Other than that, I want to be doing something and creating something. I want to teach the babies how to manipulate the land and build and grow, and everything out there is so amazing, and I want to teach everybody. I want everybody to know that you don't have to be smart to want better. You just got to learn new things and learn new skill sets and apply it. You just have to be ambitious enough and motivated enough to attempt to do something new. And I'm totally getting off track, but please, I want people to really think about their marriages. Is it really worth letting go? Was it really that bad that you should walk away? Especially if the kids are there, and I know that negative behavior is toxic, especially to kids, but sometimes if they're willing to learn another way to communicate maybe you should try that avenue. Maybe still try to go to counseling together. Make sure that this is worth walking away from, because why are you willing to let go of 5 or 7 or 8 years of marriage and put in time for a new relationship? Why not take that time that you were going to put into a new relationship and put it into the old relationship, that marriage that was worth? You said I do. You said I better for worse. I never took those vows. I did not take them seriously. I didn't even believe in marriage, truthfully. I just did it because the first one I did it because I was heartbroken, and I literally was walking through the shadows. I didn't care anymore. I was just, the one I loved married someone else, and it broke my heart. I didn't know how to find my heart again. Like, it was gone. I was not even, I was numb. I was totally numb. I was broken. I was bitter. And my son's father really didn't deserve the love that I gave him. And I wanted it to work so much for my son. I wanted a family. I didn't have that experience when I was little. And I wanted that. I still want that. I still want a family. I want somebody I can lean on and open up to and be vulnerable with and really feel them. And I'm waiting for that. I'm still waiting. And I just don't want someone to walk away from their relationship and it was really their one. I mean, I can't say that. You need to look into yourself. Are you having an identity crisis? Are you really unhappy? Are you just listening to other people? Are they meddling into your feelings? Detox from everything. Sage. And then unplug from everybody. And really get to the roots of your feelings. Do you really not love that person anymore? Do you really not want to grow old with them? And if you answered yes to both of those, then maybe you should really rethink your divorce. Because if you really do love them and you really did want to grow old with them, maybe you're meant to. But if you said no, I don't love them. No, I don't want to grow old with them. No, there's nothing there. Then yeah, I guess you are on the right track. But make sure, ask the questions. Sit down, ask the questions, and listen to your heart. Listen. That's all I really wanted to say because, I want people to know if they really love the person that they're with. Don't waste your time. But if you do love that person, fight for them. Don't let Satan tear apart what you have because it could be so beautiful and you're just letting it go. But no, at least know. I love you all. Thank you for listening. And please, if you like this video, share it, and please follow. Have a good night. Bye. Love y'all. Oh, got my hug.